Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the South Carolina Gamecocks Dynasty here on College Football 26. Today, we finish season number 3. We've got Florida, which is a big visit week today. And then in the second game of the doubleheader, we've got our rivalry game against Clemson, which we are 2-0 against Clemson right now in the rivalry in the Dynasty. Can we make it 3-0? I hope so, but I don't know. Florida also is a top 10 team. I think they're ranked number 8 in the country. We're number 1 in the country. We're undefeated, both in the conference and in just overall wise. So we've got everything riding for us. We've also got DJ Braswell battling for a Heisman Trophy, currently in the lead right now. So there is a lot to get into in today's episode and figure out what's going to happen in the post-season portion of Season 3. So if you go to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the Challenge and Juice Club. Let's get to it because it is going to explode, and I don't know which way we're going to come out on top, if we will. Week number 12 of the college football season, number 1 versus number 8. Thankfully, it's a home game. We don't have to take down Florida in the swamp because I hate going to the swamp. But this year has been very, very good for us. Although, once we've gotten into SEC play, it's been a little bit different in terms of our defense allowing points. We barely got by LSU with a game-winner walk-off touchdown to Malachi Coleman. Still one of the craziest finishes I've ever seen in this game, so go back and watch that episode if you haven't seen it already. We allowed 27 to Arkansas, which is just diabolical. 31 to Ole Miss, 35 to Mississippi State, 27 to Wake Forest, which is also diabolically bad. 13 to Texas, although that's not that bad. They were like number 8 or something in the country when we beat them. So the defense has allowed a lot of points. But at the end of the day, we still came out with victories in these games. So even if the defense is allowing a lot of points, as long as we're winning the games, is it really that big of an issue? It's a little bit of an issue. I'll say that. It is. But we finished these 2 games, both at home. So we finished on the road. Last road game was Mississippi State a couple episodes ago. That was our last road game. I believe we can win both of these games. I believe we can finish the season undefeated. If we do finish the season undefeated, we will be obviously in the SEC championship, and we only have the Florida game left. So if we beat Florida, then we obviously guaranteed anyway. Even if we don't finish undefeated, we will be guaranteed in the SEC championship. Right now, we hold the spot as the number 1 seed in the bracket. We are one of 3 undefeated teams left in football, with BYU and Oregon also being a part of that. Our side of the bracket, as of right now, looks like the more difficult side. You've got Arizona State, SMU, Louisville, and Georgia on the other side of the bracket. I'd probably rather have that than Florida, Notre Dame, BYU, and Boise State. Although it's tricky because this is going to change. Obviously, if we beat Florida, they're going to be out. So somebody will take their spot. Presumably Notre Dame will take their spot if they win. I don't know. Would I rather be against Oregon in UCLA, or would I rather be against Alabama? It's difficult to know which side of the bracket you'd want to be on, mainly because the bracket's not finished yet. So we can't really figure out exactly what side of the bracket we're going to be on, or what side we'd rather be on, until the bracket's solely figured out. It looks like it's going to end up being a rematch against Georgia from last year's SEC championship, because they're the only team with 6 wins right now in the conference. As long as we beat Florida, we've guaranteed ourselves. And even if we don't beat Florida, I still think we're going to get a spot, because we would have our first win, or first loss. And I don't see Auburn knocking us out if they were to win their 6th game in the conference. So I feel like even with a loss, we are still guaranteed to be in. But I don't want to lose anyway, so that's not really an option. And then the Heisman watch, I mentioned in the beginning, DJ Braswell has the lead. But it's not a secure lead. Jake Wakefield, Caleb Odom, Marcel Reed, and Nico Iamaleava, I always forget how to pronounce that, Iamaleava, I think is how you say it, They are all in the running, and they will all be invited to New York most likely, unless somebody swoops in at the very end. But DJ Braswell, if we can keep him going the way that he's been going, which has been unbelievably good, then we will have our third straight Heisman Trophy winner. We had Nick Harbor win the first two and tie the record with Archie Griffin as the only two-time Heisman Trophy winners. But I'd love for another guy to win it on our team. I'd love to keep it in Columbia, South Carolina. That would be sick. And the last thing we need to talk about is the recruiting. We got a lot more commitments in the last episode. We got some more 5 stars to committed. We got an extra 4-star committed. So right now we currently sit in the country at number 21. We have 4 5-stars and 1 4-star. But that is not the end of our recruiting journey because we still have the number 1 overall player in the country, Greg McElroy, who hasn't made a decision yet. It's between us and Miami, but we did pass Miami in the recruiting battle. So if we continue to win, he might pick us, which is going to be super helpful because he's a really, really good left tackle. Dennis Callis, on the other hand, is not looking like he's going to come join us. Now, he's on campus this week for us, but he's on campus for the Ohio State Buckeyes next week, week 13. So it looks like he's going to go to Ohio State, but there's a possibility. It's a very slim chance, but there is a chance he commits to us. I guess if we blow out Florida by so much, that could work, and he just commits outright, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. And it's same tier opponent with Florida because they're ranked number 8 in the country, so it's not going to give us that big of a boost. Like if it was a higher tier opponent or something. Well, to be fair, we're not going to really have that many higher tier opponents at this point because we're really good. But we're probably not going to get Dennis Callis. Garrison Fayad is pretty much locked in. He's on campus in the Clemson game, which, to be fair, Clemson's the only other team recruiting him. So if we beat Clemson, he's not going there. Joel Stringer is on campus against Florida. We just passed Ole Miss recently to get in the lead for him. We need to lock that up before he goes to Tennessee on week 13. We're in a big-time recruiting battle with Ohio State for Anthony Stumpf. This recruiting class looked initially like it was going to be unbelievably good, but then it's kind of fizzled out a little bit. I mean, to be fair, we have 4 5-stars. I can't be that upset about the recruiting class if we have 4 5-stars. And they're all helping out on defense or on the offensive line, which is really, really good. But we did miss out on 2 really important 5-stars that I really wanted, but just did not get. We could not finish the deal for them. So it's a little unfortunate. Now, the reason we have them on the board is because they both have deal breakers that are possible transfer or decommit deal breakers. Deion Speed has playing style as his deal breaker, and Cliff Whitaker has playing time as his deal breaker. Both of those could change during the season between Alabama and NC State, and they could decommit because of it. So that's why I have them still on the board. Now, I don't think they're gonna decommit, but in case that's a possibility, I want to have them on the board so I can get back in the race. That is all we need to talk about right now. As far as, and I've apparently lost my connection to the servers. God, these servers, man. Even in offline dynasties, these servers are just absolute garbage. Doesn't make any sense. So let's get into the game. Florida, South Carolina, clearly the game of the week. The final SEC conference game of season 3 in the regular season. I need a win. You need a win. We all need a win here against the Gators. And what uniforms are the Gators going to come out in? I'm not a big fan of the retro helmet, the U and the F. I'm not a big fan of that. I always have been partial to the Gator script. And I think I'm going to make them wear the blue and the orange. I kind of like that a little bit. But for us, we're going to wear the blackouts. Although, should they wear the blue and the orange, or should they wear the white and the orange? The blue helmet is kind of funny though. The blue helmet looks crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen them wear this. Have I seen them wear this? I probably have. I don't know. The blue helmet looks kind of crazy. I like the orange helmet. The orange helmet's classic to me. I think this is what they're going to wear. The white tops with the orange pants and the orange helmet is what they're going to come out in. We're going to wear the all blacks. It's going to be a crazy game. They're number 8 in the country, but this team, this South Carolina team is built different, especially with DJ Braswell. We need to win, and with recruits on campus, preferably, we need to blow them out. It's a beautiful day here in Columbia, South Carolina, as we take on the Gators in the final conference game of the regular season here in the SEC. We need to dominate, blow out the Gators, and improve the Heisman stock of one DJ Braswell. He's been fantastic all season. Jaden Baugh is also a really, really good running back, but not as good as DJ Braswell. If we can continue the stock, continue growing it, continue having him have such a wonderful season, then we will win the Heisman for the third straight year and keep that thing in Columbia where it just needs to be. That's its home. It's its second home other than New York. That is its second home. And look at this space created by Bryce Underwood. He's got so much speed at the quarterback position. It's hard to contain that much speed when you're a defensive player. Dennis Callis on campus, probably the most important on-campus visit. Because if we can secure the commitment of Dennis Callis, that would be really awesome. I don't think it's going to happen because not only do we have to jump Ohio State, who has a fairly good lead on us, not anything like insurmountable, but they have a pretty good chunk of a lead on us. But then we also have to just get him to commit before he goes on campus next week to Ohio State. So it's kind of seems like it's not going to happen, but you never really know. If we dominate Florida and he's impressed by that so much, he might just say, you know what? Forget Ohio State. I'm going to commit to you guys. And maybe that's what happens. I don't know. We are, speaking of DJ Braswell and having him have such a good season, we are just a few hundred yards away from the season record for rushing yards by South Carolina players. He's 1,600, I think, and we need to get over 1,800, I think is what Marcus Lattimore had back in 2010. So we're very, very close. This episode could break the record if he has a good episode. And if he doesn't, we're going to be in trouble because that means our offense hasn't really worked, and that's not a good idea. We don't want that to happen. So he is moving the football down the field on us pretty easily. Let's roll out. Try to get Mazio in space. Mazio's got it. Mazio cuts in. He's down at the 1. Good tackle by number 24 because that easily could have been a touchdown for Mazio. But then it's going to get down to the 1 and be a free touchdown for DJ Braswell, who's in. Another one for DJ. Caps off a good drive. He's already got the season record for touchdowns. He passed that last episode. And now he's going for the rushing record in South Carolina history. He might even go for the career record. No, he can't do that. He's a senior. He's not going to have enough time, but it'd be pretty sick if he did. The only other record, once Braswell secures both of those, the only other record we don't have from this dynasty is interceptions in a season. All the other season records would have been ours, which is pretty cool. So we're going to have to hope that one of these years, next year, years down the road, that one of our DBs or linebackers, whoever it may be, one of our defensive players, just goes crazy and gets a bunch of interceptions if we want to secure all the records in one season. Enrique Kiernan, big-time tackle, blows up Jaden Baugh. And he locked him down, and he waved goodbye. Oh, my God, Enrique Kiernan. The first play from scrimmage, you're going to lock him down, the belt strap, and then you're going to wave goodbye to the non-existent Florida fans? I can't even see the celebration. Oh, that's disrespectful. But he blew it up, by the way. Absolutely destroyed the right tackle and killed Baugh. Insanely good. 2nd and 12. Kiernan's only going to get better. He's young. He's a freshman redshirt, I think is what he is. He's young. He's going to just continue to develop and continue to get better. And it looks like the Florida Gators have a senior quarterback in their own right. They've got Adam Matthews, who throws up the seam to a wide open player. Dallas Wilson, one of the best receivers in college football. Okay. Dallas Wilson dominating. Matthews has plenty of time. He finds his check down underneath. He had a lot of time in that pocket to work. A lot of time in that pocket. And it looks like, judging by those season stats that they just showed quickly, I don't even think Adam Matthews has over 1,000 yards, so he must not be the starter. Unless he just hasn't been their offensive game plan, which in Sim, it's kind of hard to find a Sim team that doesn't throw for 2,000-3,000 yards. But the season stats, he has 765. Did they have an injured quarterback? Has he not been the starter all year? because there's no way that a sim quarterback has less than 1,000 yards. Yes, Anthony Varner was their original starting quarterback, fractured shoulder blade, out for the season. He's a junior. So Anthony Varner fractured his shoulder blade. He's done for the year. So Adam Matthews is the backup quarterback. That makes more sense. I was going to say, there's no way that a sim quarterback this late in the year does not have at least 2,500 yards through the air. Maybe even more. But it's because he hasn't played all year. That makes more sense. So we're going up against a backup quarterback on the road. Well, they're on the road. This is not an easy environment for any quarterback to play in, let alone a backup. We'll see how he does. If they rely on Jaden Baugh, they should be in a fairly good spot because Jaden Baugh, as you saw right there by that run, is going to be tough to bring down. But we lead 7-0. I'd really prefer this defense to tighten up here and not allow points. Well, I mean, if they're going to allow points, I guess it would be the best if they allowed 3. But I don't want them to allow any. I'd rather this be like a turnover on downs, interception, something to happen. Let's see if I can sneak in here. Jair Johnson stripped it. Get in there. It's recovered. We don't allow any points. Oh my God, my dreams come true. Not only did we sack the quarterback with Jair Johnson, but we get the sack, or we get the strip sack, we get the fumble recovery, and no points allowed by the defense. Joshua Wood is the one who recovered it after Jair stripped it. Insane scenes, I'll tell you right now. Insane scenes. I mean, I was just talking. Like, not that usually doesn't happen to me, where I say something and then it literally happens right after I say it. That rarely ever is something that happens to me. But the fact that it did right as I said it, it happened. Man, talk about the luck. Talk about the luck. You'd think I would be Irish. That's a great ball to Dorian Fleming, who I proclaimed in the last episode is the greatest tight end I've ever seen. Because he has just been unreal how good he's been for us these past 2 years. Handoff. Braswell, juke. Gets a few yards. He is starting to feel a little bit slower. That wear and tear, you can tell, is getting pretty rough for him this season. And I have a feeling that in the playoff run, he's not going to be as impactful as he's been during the regular season, but that's just because his wear and tear is going to be killing him. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of David Thrash. We're going to be seeing a lot of Hakeem Nacho. And Thrash going to get shut down. Loss of 1 in the play. That's not ideal, and I don't really like any of these play calls they're giving me. I think I might have to call a slot or a slant for Mazio. And I might just scramble here and get Underwood up to the 7-yard line. Beautifully done. I mean, it's so hard to cover everybody and then contain the quarterback as well. Very difficult. Very, very difficult to do. And the Gators didn't do that good of a job. Lincoln Cure, tight end transfer that we got in the portal this past offseason, did a good job there. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Handoff. Braswell going to be knocked down immediately, and it's 3rd down. Okay. Not good. Got to figure out how to get this. Corner for the Gators is completely offside. Not sure what he's thinking, but that's a Malachi Coleman touchdown. I don't know what he was thinking there. He completely was behind Malachi on the play, lining up completely offside. Georgia did win their final conference game against LSU, so they will be in the conference title game against us, most likely, as a Florida player ran into the kicker, I'm guessing. Man, back-to-back penalties thrown on the Gators. They might be starting to crumble here. They might be starting to crumble. But a 14-0 lead is huge. I like that. I like that a lot, especially when we got recruits that are looking for a blowout. Man, that strip sack still gets me juiced up, man. That was insane. Right as I called it, right as I needed it, we got it. That rarely ever happens. To me, at least. Joshua Wood trying to get in there to affect the quarterback. Could not get there quite quick enough. And it's a completed pass, although that ball did not have any steam on it. That was a a slightly thrown ball. Still got caught, but did not look like it had any juice to it. That's a receiver who catches underneath and takes it for a first down. Got picked up and slammed, but still got the first down out of it. And this is where our defense starts to get real annoying because we allow these chunk plays that gets the opposing team down the field fairly quickly. Jair Johnson cleans that up, a gain of 3. I think our defensive line is elite. I think our defensive line gets to the quarterback and forces pressures consistently enough. We just don't have the secondary to shut down the quarterback when he throws it before avoiding the sack. Enrique spins off the right tackle. Quarterback got hit. It's one-on-one. Knock it down! And we do just that. Incomplete pass. That was real close. He went up there and got that animation. I thought he was going to catch it. I really did. That was close. That was close. And we got to return this because they would have pinned us really well if we didn't return that. So to the 20 is a lot better than we would have been pinned at what, like the 4? I don't even know where we got it pinned. It could have been bad. Handoff Braswell. I almost need to keep Braswell for just goal line at this point so that he can keep getting touchdowns and improve his Heisman campaign, because right now he's just taking unnecessary hits and I don't like it. 26 seconds remain in the half. I kind of used the accelerated clock one too many times here on this drive. I think I'm just going to scramble. That's the most guaranteed yardage. I tried to slide, couldn't slide. I was in another animation, which, oh no, God forbid, I'm in another animation. They don't let me slide. Although when I'm trying to slide and I'm taken out of the slide animation to be put in another animation, oh, we can't. We got to have that happen. Oh, that's an unfortunate sack. I was trying to get scramble and I got hit last second and fell over. If we can just get into field goal range for Gabe Battle, that'd be really helpful. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't really see much happening here. I'm just going to have to just waste the drive. There was nothing I could do. Nothing was open down the field, and I wasn't going to get down in time for the field goal. So that sucks, but I wasn't going to kick a 60-yard field goal with Gabe Battle. I don't think he's got the leg for that. Kick return, shut down immediately at the 11. Wow, okay. I like that. And here we go back on defense. First drive of the second half for the Gators. And they'll hand it off to their stud running back. And he's got a lot of room. He might have a one-play touchdown. Clemens, the freshman, has no speed. And it's going to be a one-play touchdown for Jaden Baugh. That cannot happen. That is just poor defensive coverage, allowing for Jaden Baugh to juke out one player and have nobody else around him. Clemens just doesn't have the speed. He was never going to have the speed to keep up. We needed to have somebody get him before it came down to Clemens, the last guy. Because we knew out the gates that Clemens was not going to be able to catch him. So that is an unfortunate little touchdown that they got. And it took them, what, one play? That was the first play of the drive? That is not what we want to have happen. Nice throw to Malachi Coleman. And that doesn't help us in our pursuit of a blowout. After the Coleman catch, I'm going to toss this to Mazio. Mazio is going to try to get the first down, be denied, but get a good gain anyway. He gets 9 on it. And then maybe we toss it to Mazio or to DJ Braswell right here. Little cheeky handoff. Braswell first down. He's definitely not going to be over 150 yards like he has been consistently this season. But if he can add a couple extra touchdowns to his resume today, that would definitely be helpful. Look at Malik Clark. Speaking of having a great season with DJ Braswell, Malik Clark has been phenomenal this year. He's really broken out. And I hope he comes back next season for his senior year. Oh, that was not going to work. I'm just glad I got it away. It really looked like I was going to have an open space to run there, but then they quickly contained it. and I didn't have that open space anymore. Braswell, man, he doesn't have the juice anymore. He does not feel fast off the burst, and then that's in turn not allowing him to hit the hole as quick as he needs to, and guys are getting to stops to him. So, and they covered the screen unbelievably well. Wow, and Braswell picks up an injury off of that. They cover the screen terrifically well. It almost like they had the signal. Did they steal my sign? And, oh, I threw a pick. You got to be joking. To be fair, that wasn't open. I understand. But I was trying to force something that wasn't there. It didn't work. And now I've given Florida a chance to tie this game up in the third quarter. Oh, that's such an avoidable interception, man. That never needed to happen. That never, ever needed to be the scenario that we put our guys in. And it did. I've still thrown very limited interceptions with Bryce Underwood this year. I got to be happy with the way that I've played this year, limiting my interceptions. But I also have thrown some. The ones that I have thrown have been super frustrating with that they've been caught as interceptions, because I shouldn't have been put in that spot in the first. I shouldn't have thrown that in the ball in the first place, and that was one of them. Joshua Wood blows up that run. Jaden Baugh gets nothing. He's got very inflated numbers. We've done a really good job containing him, other than that one play touchdown. And you can't deny that happened. You can't just leave that out. You have to acknowledge it. But, good deflection at the line. But you also have to acknowledge that other than that one run, he has been really non-existent in the run game. Enrique can't get off the right tackle. It's going to be a floater. Knock it down! Good job. And we will force a punt. So it ends up not coming back to hurt us, even though it's still annoying. At least Florida didn't get any points off of it, which I guess is a positive. I mean, it obviously is. It just doesn't really feel like a positive when it's an interception that resulted in them getting the possession. A little annoying, if I do say so myself. But Braswell, I mean, he's just not getting the juice that he needs. That's a tough throw. Good catch by Billy Clark. I thought he was going to get rocked by the safety there, the corner. But Clark catches it. 2nd and 3. Handoff. Braswell fighting for the first down. Will get it. He is really, really feeling that wear and tear. I'm so worried for this postseason run. What? You've got to be... You got to be joking. You're not telling the truth. That is not actually what happened. One, I didn't realize I even had a guy on me, to be fair. I was looking down the field, didn't realize I had a guy. Then when I did realize, I threw it. And of course, the defensive lineman has the reaction time of a cat. He's a ninja, this guy. How in the world did he have the reaction time to not only realize the ball was in the air, but as he's falling, slide and catch this? Get this man on the offense if he's going to be making plays like this. My guys would never. My defensive lineman would never make a play like this. You got to be. That's not even fair. I mean, what am I supposed to do about that? No defensive tackle is making a play like that. Come on. A second interception. Both interceptions this game have been completely BS for different reasons, but completely BS. And that is what's most annoying. The fact that these interceptions have been so avoidable and frustrating, and that one is just not fair. Like, there's no defensive tackle with hands like that, or reaction time like that, or reflexes like that. There's just not. Not even Aaron Donald. Think of the greatest defensive tackles you could ever think of, regardless of era. No defensive tackle has the reaction time to do that and to actually catch it. Maybe they get a hand on it, but they're not actually completing the catch. There's a reason that they're 360 pounds and they play defensive tackle. Because they can't catch. Complete BS. And now Florida's going to get a touchdown and tie the game. I can't even believe this, man. What am I supposed to do about that? Yeah, I should have thrown it earlier. I get it. But they still shouldn't have caught it. My guy wouldn't have, so why does their guy get to? Doesn't seem very fair, does it? Doesn't seem very fair. Joshua Wood blows up that play. I almost blew it up with Jaylen Brown there. Jaden Baugh gets the yards back. He gets to the 4. It's 3rd and goal. They already used their last chance for a first down, so they can't get a first down here. This is a big 3rd down. They're going to motion Jaden Baugh. Do they throw it to him? I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but they've kind of wasted that opportunity now. And it looks like Matthews is going to scramble, and of course, I can't switch on to the right guy. Why would I not want to switch on to the guy that's actually pursuing the quarterback? Why would you switch me on to a guy that's in coverage in the back of the end zone? That doesn't make any sense. I hate this game. I want to fire the entire development staff into the sun. (14-14) as Florida kicks off. So we can completely forget about the blowout. Now we just got to win the game. I'm not nervous about losing this game. Maybe I should be. But I'm not really nervous. I mean, Florida has not played very well. We've really been the better team other than gifted opportunities by our offense to this Florida defense. I got to stop running screens because screens are not working. That's 2 screens that they've completely locked up and completely contained, which it almost looks like they have the signals the way that they're covering these screens. I didn't know that Connor Stallions was on their coaching staff, but he might be, the way that they've been predicting my plays. F. I just threw another pick, didn't I? Okay, good. Oh, I didn't even mean to press triangle. I kind of just panicked and my thumb pressed a button, which usually is what happens. What I'm trying to do is scramble to this right side. I'm trying to scramble to the right effing side, but it's not there. Good Lord, can that right edge please just give me some time? I'm trying to scramble to that right side. It's not there. And now it's not going to be a completed catch, is it? Dorian Fleming? He dropped it last second. Dorian, I'm going to send you into retirement, dog. That is an unbelievable drop he just had right there. We give the ball back to Florida. I should have punted it, but I really, really didn't want to. So that's why I didn't. And now we're in danger of losing this game. I really haven't taken this game very seriously. I've kind of just assumed we were going to blow them out. And I shouldn't have assumed that. They're the number 8 team in the country. They're a very talented team. But the way that we start, I mean, we started 14-0 or 14-0, and then we just slowly gave Florida a chance in this one. They got the touchdown with Jaden Baugh. They got the touchdown because of the interception. They had great field position. We've really just given them everything they need. And now they are just a yard away from taking the lead for the first time today in the 4th quarter. Jair Johnson blows that up. Huge. He's been unbelievable today. 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. That's going to be incomplete. Good job. Good pass deflection there. We forced the field goal. That could have easily been a touchdown to take the lead by 7. But now they only take the lead by 3, presumably. And yes, he does make it. So it's only a 3-point lead. But the fact that we're even losing in this game just boils my blood to a point where I'm not happy at all. It's not safe for my blood to be boiled to this point. Nothing ever just can be easy with me. It always has to be a challenge. It always has to be making me sweat. It's just got to be difficult. I don't know why. I don't do it for the content. Trust me, if I could blow every team out, I've said this before, if I could just blow every team out because I was just better than them on the sticks, I would absolutely do it. It would be horrible for content, but it would make me feel better. But when I have to do this, late game comebacks and struggle against teams, it's just because I'm bad. And that's what makes me the most upset. Trust me, I don't do it for the content. It may end up making good content, but I don't do it because of the content. I do it because I suck. I don't have a choice. That was a big play, though. That was a big play. I need to make sure that Malachi Coleman... We have a history of Malachi Coleman just running down the field uncovered and scoring touchdowns. Malachi Coleman touchdown, South Carolina. Okay. Okay. That's big. I like that a lot. That makes me all fuzzy and tingly inside. 21-17 we lead. They finally didn't have the safety help over the top, and Malachi was able to just run free. But this is where we need that defense to absolutely earn their worth here. Because if you don't, I'm gonna make you regret it. I'm gonna get the belt, and you're not gonna like it. Jaden Baugh, 134 yards last game. He's got almost 100 this game, maybe even 100 this game. He's a good player. He's a good player, and I'm hoping that this doesn't knock DJ Braswell out of the Heisman voting, or at least the top of the Heisman voting, because he's only got one touchdown. I don't think he has 100 yards. It's not been a good game for him, but it's because the wear and tear has been pretty difficult for him. And that's a drop pass, and it wasn't pass interference. Finally, we get some luck on our side. It's about time. I really did think that Eli Bowen was going to get there too quickly and get called for pass interference. I'm glad that he didn't. And with 3 minutes to go, we have a chance to score some more points. Plus, man, DJ is not even in the game anymore. He's really hurting. But Malachi gets a big first down, and that is a timeout called by Florida. God, those 2 interceptions, seeing those on the stat sheet for Underwood just frustrates me so much. Ooh, almost deflected at the line by the defensive ends. That was close. I can't believe they didn't even get it. But it's back-to-back first downs. That's huge. Iheanacho's in the game. God, just a disappointing game from Braswell. Not his own doing. He just doesn't have any health left. The wear and tear is killing him. 3 straight first downs. Man, Florida really killed themselves on this drive. 3 straight plays, 3 straight first downs. That's brutal. And it's going to be 4 straight first downs, but it's a flag. You got to be kidding me. A holding call in this situation? Was it Malik Clark? Who was it? It was Malik Clark who got called. You cannot get a holding call in this situation, man. You got to know the scenario. And Iheanacho just doesn't have the speed. You got to know the scenario, dog. You cannot hold. Cannot hold. We'll take it to the 2-minute warning. I mean, we almost need to score again to make this a closer game. But since they're same-tier opponents, I don't think it's going to penalize us that much for not blowing them out or winning by just a little bit. I don't think it's going to punish us for that. It may not result in all of the guys that we want to commit right now actually committing, but it shouldn't penalize us that much. I guess we'll find out. That safety's going middle high. That's going to leave Mazio wide open across the middle. He catches it. 4th and 6. Do I have to take the points, or do I can't take the points here. I can't take 3 points. That's not a big enough win. We got to try to go for this first down. 4th down and 6. We'll go quickly. It's going to be Mazio for the first down. Good job, Mazio. That's huge. We absolutely need to get that first down. That's as big as it's going to get. And now with under a minute to go, we're going to hit Malik Clark. He's going to get up. Robbie Washington hurt, which saves us a chance, saves us a timeout, so I can turn off the chew clock there. All right, Malachi, this is either going to be you or Dorian Fleming, whoever gets open. And it's Malachi, but he got bumped, and it's a low throw. God, I hate the bumping, dude. I really do. I really hate the bumping. Another one of my pet. This entire game is just a pet peeve of mine. David Thrash will get to the first down line and will almost get the into the end zone. Can we put Braswell in, please? No, it's going to be Iheanacho. Iheanacho will be in. Touchdown, Gamecocks. So at least we make this a 10-point game. An 11-point game. I'm okay with that, I guess. It's not the 17-point blowout that I was predicting or hoping for, but considering the way this game went, I gotta be happy with it. I mean, I don't have to be happy with it, but I should be happy with it because we survived the game. It's the number 8 team in the country. But we really, I mean, the way this game started, we really should have just blown them out. But it's just BS after BS, really, is all it is. BS after BS after BS after BS. They will spike it, which wastes the second down, but they need to stop the clock. And it's 3rd and inches with 7 seconds remaining in the game. It's mathematically impossible for them to win, but I really don't want them to get like a freaky touchdown that happens or something. And he will just run out of bounds. Didn't even get the first down. He just ran backwards. And now it's 4th and 1. Very weird decision by the CPU there. Don't know what he was thinking. Well, he wasn't thinking. He's going to scramble again, and this time he's going to stop and throw. What are you doing, dog? I don't know. We win the game by 11. And that is our final SEC conference game of the season. The regular season, we will clinch. Well, we already clinched, but we will firmly clinch a spot in the SEC championship for next episode. That's awesome. But do we get the big-time commitments, including Greg McElroy? Please, Greg, because if you don't commit here, I'm a little bit worried. Somebody committed. It's Dennis Callis! Oh my God, he actually committed. That's huge. Joel Stringer commits, but Greg McElroy didn't. Anthony Stumpf chose Ohio State, by the way, which is a little shocking. I thought we had a really good chance of getting him. But Dennis Callis, we passed Ohio State. I did not see that happening at all. He was on campus. That was his visit week. That's crazy. I did not see that coming at all. Anthony Stumpf is a little annoying. I feel like we should have had him. Jair Johnson gets player of the week for that big strip sack. Let's take a look at this class now because that is a big shocker that we got Callis. But McElroy, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. It's neck and neck. We're literally tied, and there is just a sliver in the school influence bar for commitment. Wow. Luckily, both of us have already done our visits, so that can't like boost Miami out of nowhere. But that is that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. But Dennis Callis passing Ohio State at the last second is huge. And now we have Joel Stringer added to the team. Anthony Stumpf. I really didn't think you were going to commit to Ohio State. I thought you were going to choose us, but you didn't. Nick Bland locked us out. And that is where we leave recruiting for right now. Oh, but another 5-star is huge. This offensive line is taking some big steps up. We've got Dennis Callis. We've got a possible Greg McElroy. We're adding to the offensive line, which is needed. We absolutely need the offensive line help. So that's going to be huge. We also need the edge help. We also need the offensive help with the weapons and everything. So let's reallocate some of these points and figure out where we're going to put them. So Greg McElroy, we can't do anything. We've literally done everything in our power to get him to the team. He just hasn't chose a team yet. It's on him at this point. Garrison Fayad is on campus this week for the Clemson game, the rivalry game. And I realize we have not switched to a hard sell on him, so we might as well do that now. But we already have a very comfortable lead for Garrison Fayad. And with the campus visit, as long as we win, he's going to commit to us. So that's huge. Terrence Arnaud, we don't honestly need this many edge rushers, but they're all really highly rated. So to help the overall class, for the good of the class, we should probably still try to get them. And maybe they can be flexible and play somewhere else. Who knows? Who really knows? Marvin Jewell is a contested specialist, possible tight end receiver combo. So we should be guaranteed to get him. And it looks like his hard sell is Sunday players. Everybody Sunday player, apparently. But Marvin Jewell, nobody's even going after him, so we're locked in for him. Kike Ekwonu is a tight end who was on campus for the Florida game. We had a huge boost of influence, but so did Ohio State. So, looks like Kike Ekwonu is not coming to play for us. Jaden Aviles has a chance of coming for us, but he's also has a chance of going to Georgia, which is not what we want. He's from Georgia, and that pipeline might be too much. We've seen in past series, how much the pipeline can affect. So I'm hoping that this time it doesn't really affect it, but it probably will. It probably will. I'm going to hope that hometown hero is also Daryl Bigums. Jimmy Carnegie, he could probably play tight end, so if we don't end up getting Ekwonu, which we probably won't, Jimmy Carnegie is most likely going to be that tight end option, or maybe we already have somebody on the offense that can be tight end, but we're going to be fine with tight end. It's not going to be a problem. Willie Harbor is a speedster. What kind of speed did he have? 94 speed, that's right. So we definitely want to try to get in on that. Jason Casey. I mean, we have so many edge rushers. We don't need this many edge rushers. We are trying to get Desmond Williams. I mean, I'm not trying super hard to get him, but it'd be cool if I could. Lloyd Stockton, he needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of work. He's not really ready, but he's 6'4", 211. He's got the body type. But we have so many edge rushers. Once we get to the offseason, I will take off most of those edge rushers so that I can free up spots for the portal. I looked at Zach Crothers, right? I'm pretty sure I did. He didn't have any speed. I think that's what I'll put him back in we have the hours. I can afford to spend them. I know that I looked at Mike Dillard because it has the broken gem on there. I think I looked at Keenan Strong too. I'm pretty sure I did. Jamison Awe. That's a crazy name for a wide receiver. I'll put him on the board. Another left tackle, but he's pretty much going to Auburn. A 3-star left tackle, 6'7". Wow, okay. That's kind of crazy. Cole Pan is another wide receiver. Carlos Lane, left tackle. We're not really even in the running for that. Another wide receiver, a right tackle. A lot of these 4-stars that are still uncommitted, we just really don't have the time to get into the running for them. Marvin Kirks, I mean, I could try. It's not gonna really matter because we just don't have enough time to get in. Did I scout you? I didn't scout Zach Crothers. Okay. Well, what kind of speed are we working with here? He's a gem, 93 speed, 92 excel. How did I not find out about this guy? Zach Crothers should be a Carolina Gamecock. What about Jamison Awe? 85 speed, 90 excel. I mean, that's a tight end. I wouldn't hate a tight end option there. Jalen Flint, a 3-star tackle. Maybe we get in the running for him. All right, we'll see what happens there. That is all the hours used for recruiting this week. And now it comes down to the final game of the season against Clemson, rivalry week. And Braswell does keep his lead in the top of the Heisman voting, which is really cool. Because he's got this week and then the SEC championship game. I think conference championship week also counts. So there's 2 more chances for him to keep the Heisman voting and also lose the Heisman race. So we got to make sure we do well. Final game of the regular season, though, against our rivals in the Palmetto series. We have this game already won twice this dynasty. Let's go make it 3 for 3. The final game. It is rivalry week here in Dynasty Season 3 of South Carolina. Clemson comes to town, and we look to go 3 for 3 against them. They are not the same Clemson team that they may have been at the beginning of this series. They are not that good. We beat them 28-13 last year. But this is a new quarterback. This is a new team, really. Because last year we had, obviously, Lenore Sellers and Nick Harbor as the main focus of the offense. This year it's Bryce Underwood, DJ Braswell, Malachi Coleman type of thing. And we start with a Braswell handoff, and I think I need to limit... I mean, he's already got a high risk of injury, so I think I need to limit the amount of times Braswell takes off with the football. I think I need to limit him to just goal line stuff. That might be the best option. I don't know. Bryce Underwood, man, a great throw. Goal line stuff might be the best chance we have of keeping him fresh in this game. And fresh for the playoffs. I got to scramble, and I'm not going to be able to. Ari Watford sacks me on that one. That was all kinds of bad from me there. All kinds of bad. I'm going to send Malachi Coleman deep. It's not going to work out. That didn't work either. Mazio, why'd you stop? And Braswell's hurt, not even playing. I didn't even run the ball with it, Braswell. What happened? All right, this is going to be a story of the postseason. Braswell's going to be almost useless this year, or this postseason, because we've used him so... Good God. Because we've used him so much to the regular season. He's going to be almost unusable now. And that's why I am going to be adjusting the wear and tear for Season 4 so that this kind of situation doesn't happen again. And we don't get the first down, we turn it over on downs. So that this situation doesn't happen again where we don't have a running back, our star running back, this late into the season. So we will be adjusting the wear and tear for Season 4 so that it doesn't... Because that's just what my offense is. I run the ball with the running backs, and that does tear them down a lot. I understand it, but for them not to even be out there on the field when they're not hurt is not something I want. So let's fix that next season. But for right now, we gotta try to play through it. Christopher Vezina playing for for Clemson here. We are familiar with Christopher Vezina. He was in one of my full season dynasties. I don't remember which one it was. It wasn't BYU, was it? Was it BYU? It couldn't have been BYU. It may have been last year. Was it last year that we had Christian Vezina? I don't remember. I know we had him on a team. Was it BYU? They can't be. It can't be BYU. It's obviously not Rutgers. I don't remember. I know we've had him, but I just, for some reason, can't think of what it was, the team that he was on. And I honestly can't remember all of the season dynasties I've done so far. I haven't done that many, which is why I'm shocked that I can't remember them all. But Vezina's going to fire right across the seam, and the receiver just did not animate. That's a touchdown. But he didn't get a jump. He didn't jump. He didn't put his hands up even. A missed opportunity. I thought they had an easy touchdown. They drilled the field goal for 3 points, but I thought he had an easy touchdown. He should have had an easy touchdown, but the receiver just did not even know the ball was in the air. And by the time he looked back, it was already over his head. Insane miscommunication for the receiver and quarterback. It helps me out because it allows for us to not have a touchdown on the board and have just 3 points. But that is insane luck right there. Dorian Fleming with a big catch. It's a lot of play action with this offensive playbook, and I'm not a big fan of play action. I like it a little bit, but I'm not like a huge fan of play action. I like it in spots. Underwood's going to have to slide. I was trying, man. I tell you, you can't slide in this game when people are around because they're just going to put you into different animations, which is very stupid, but that's just what happens. Sometimes you just got to live with what happens. Fleming can't stay in bounds. He does get the catch, though. I don't like having to almost solely throw the football. I'm more of a running type of player. That's just what my skill set is. It's what my play style is, or what it's become. But having to rely on the pass is not something I have done in a while. But because Braswell's so fragile the end of the season, we have to do it. That's a couple big catches for Javonte Springs. We got to keep moving the ball down the field through the air. I guess it helps out Bryce Underwood. Gets his stats up a little bit, I guess. Malik Clark tries to turn up the field. Amari Adams injured for Clemson. And maybe now we can pop in a little run here. It is David Thrash. We're not going to see much of Braswell today, are we? It's a lot of David Thrash. Handoff and Thrash on the stretch just did not have the angle. They really sold that, or they really stopped us there. It's a lot of screens. They almost want me to exclusively run a screen. And that is the end of the first quarter. We already are in a second quarter game here against Clemson. They lead 3-0, but it's only because we turned the ball over. Who knows what they would have done if we punted the ball and gave that to them for a full field. Who knows where they would be at. Maybe they don't even have any points. Malik Clark, first down. Not a first down. Malik Clark, big catch. Gets us 3rd and 7. And maybe he can get us a first down here. Not really. They really cover the entire thing there. They covered the underneath stuff. And I could kick a field goal here, but I could also not. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to kick the field goal here because I don't learn from my mistakes. And I'm just going to take the easy stuff. Scramble with Bryce Underwood. First down, Gamecocks. And is the stretch actually going to be there this time? Probably not. I mean, it didn't lose yards. I gained a couple, which I guess is positive. But the stretch really wasn't there even on that play. Lincoln Cure's wide open. He doesn't get a lot of love, but when he does, he's usually pretty productive. He's usually pretty productive. First and goal. Just take the scramble yardage with Underwood. Almost got the first down at the 2. And I need to try to force them to put in... I don't think they're going to. I need to try to force them to put in DJ Braswell to get the touchdown. But I don't think they're going to let me do that. Because he should still be the starter, but because he still is the starter, but with that wear and tear, he's not getting in the game. We'll see who they put in here. They put in David Thrash. That wear and tear's killed him. We've basically lost the Heisman Trophy. As Thrash almost got in there. We've basically lost the Heisman Trophy because the wear and tear has not allowed him to get in the game. Thrash will score, though, which is nice. So we get a touchdown to take the lead over Clemson. And now they actually have to move down the field the whole length of it. So we'll see how their offense actually moves. But 7-minute drive is pretty awesome. I'll take that. We took a lot of the first quarter clock and a lot of the second quarter clock. We'll send it away to the Tigers, and we will see what their offense actually has from going the length of the field. A normal drive. Hopefully they don't have anything. That's the goal. That is the goal. Vizina fires across the middle, wide open. Nobody's around, and it's right at midfield. Well, that didn't go well, did it? Coverage was poor, as it always is. No matter what team it is, no matter what players it is, the coverage is poor. First down for Vizina. He gets hit by Joshua Wood and just dirts it. He had an open man out the flat, but thankfully Joshua Wood got there. I feel like Joshua Wood and Tommy Berlin could be a nice little 1-2 punch in the future in the interior of that defensive line, but we'll see how good Tommy Berlin actually ends up being and what his dev trade is and all that kind of stuff. Because if he's got like elite dev, I don't think he's going to, but if he has elite dev, that'd be pretty nice. Little screen pass, and that shut down immediately. Not sure why they would call a screen pass in that situation, especially a wide receiver screen or a tight end screen, whatever it was. But they called it. And it didn't work. It was not a good idea. Mazio with an okay punt return. I'll take it. I'll take it. David Thrash, and he's going to get unblocked. Oh, my God. They brought 2 guys, and only 1 guy got blocked because we didn't have another guy to block him. So that's just good defense by Clemson. They brought more guys than I could block, and they blow that up. 2-minute warning. That's probably for the best because I didn't really like that play anyway. Are we not going to... We might not see Mazio the rest of this game. Or Mazio. We might not see... Big throw. We might not see Braswell the rest of this game. He's just that tired. And that beat up. And there's nothing I can do about it. He's just off the roster. I can't... He's on the depth chart, but he's the starter and he's not in. So there's nothing I can do about that. He's just gone. He doesn't have that heart. He doesn't want to be on the field with broken bones. He just wants to sit back and take the credit that he's already earned this season and leave it up to his backups, David Thrash, Hakeem Iheanacho. That is such a stupid handoff. Why does that handoff take 17 years to get done? Why is it such a delayed handoff? I'll never understand. And I'm going to get hit because I have no in time. 37 seconds to go in the half. Clemson with the football. They fire it quickly. They've got all their timeouts. Or they have 2 timeouts. They used one on the drive, our drive. The clock is moving. They got to go. They run a hurry up, but they're not moving as fast as they probably should. A lot of times off the clock here. What are you doing, Clemson? So much time. Snap the football. Did we get the glitch where they can't snap it? Because clearly they should be snapping it by now. I think we got the glitch that sometimes happens where the CPU can't snap the football when they run hurry up. Oh, they did snap it. Why would they wait so long? You're down 7-3. You have 2 timeouts. Why would you wait until there's 2 seconds left to snap the effing football? That makes no sense. And then they call a screen pass that gets blown. Whatever. I don't know. I can't pretend to know what the CPU's doing in late game situations because I don't even think the CPU algorithm knows what they're doing in those situations. You took basically like 30 seconds off the clock just to run a screen with 2 seconds left. It gets nothing. And then they go and they throw that play, which is a 1-play bullet for 35 yards that gets them right into our territory in the first play. Hand out to the running back. We blow that up. Loss of 1. We blow that up. Yes, we do. We blow that up. Yes, we do. Joshua Wood can't sack Vizina. I wish they didn't get rid of... You remember back in the day when you had a defensive tackle dive, or any player, really doesn't have to be a defensive tackle, but any defensive player dive after a person with the ball carrier is I guess what they're called. Good job. They would just jump across the screen and dive crazy fast. And usually it would work. Sometimes you'd completely whiff, but that was the risk you took because the dive was so powerful. Nowadays, ever since they've turned to a more realistic style in this Frostbite engine and everything that they've been on for a decade now, the dives just don't do anything. Like, diving after somebody just doesn't feel... It feels almost worse than a real-life dive. Like, I feel like a real-life dive, you actually get some jump off your legs. But in the game, it just feels like they just kind of like, oh, they just fall forward a little bit is what it feels like. And that's what it felt like with Joshua Wood right there. I feel like I should have had the sack, but the dive just didn't give me anything. Oh, look at the blocking. And David Thrash, if he had more speed, that would have been a touchdown. That ball's out. Recovered by Clemson. Tell me that Thrash... tell me Thrash was down, please. If Thrash was not down, he's getting fired into the sun. He has a huge gain. Oh, he's down. He's got to be. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's good. Give me that football back. Give me that football back. That was not a fumble. David Thrash was down, and they gave me the football back, thankfully. If they didn't give me the football back, we would have seen some bad stuff happen. Georgia beats Georgia Tech in their rivalry game. So they've not only secured a good season, but I think last game, or last week, they secured the other spot in the SEC championship. So it will be a rematch. It would be the first time we played Georgia this year. Last year, we played them 3 times. We played them once in... I completely screwed up this screen. I almost forgot it was a screen, to be fair. I should have just thrown it away. I don't know why I even threw it in the first place. We played them once in the regular season last year. We played them once in the SEC championship, and then we played them in... Was it the national champ? It wasn't the national championship, was it? I don't think it was the national championship we played Georgia. Was it? I honestly don't remember. I am not good at punting, but I'm going to try to pin them somewhere. Oh, horrible punt. I tried to pin them. It didn't really work. I don't really know how the arrow works there. I can't really judge it, so that's a me problem, and it did not work well there. That's why I don't punt, because I don't know how to. Duke Watson's one of the running backs they got. 2nd and 5 in the 3rd quarter. It's a 7-6 game. It's a 1-point lead for us. Oh, good hit. That was a really contested throw. I don't know why he threw that. He put his wide receiver in a bad spot. That's what we like to call a hospital pass. Big 3rd and 5. They're going to send their running back out. Are they going to throw it to him? No, they're going to go across the middle, and he's going to have a 1st down and more. That initial hit, we needed to have it, or he was going to do what he did. And we didn't have it, and he did what he did. So that's how that works. Fresh set for Clemson. They're going to go read option, and Vizina's got some sort of burst of speed here. I don't know what that was. Felt like he went like 90 miles an hour there. But he got a lot of yards out of it. And now we are in a rough spot where Clemson feels like they're going to score. We go blitz, and they go wide receiver screen, and this little dude broke a shoulder tackle? Really? Dakota Dombrowski. What? Is he from Poland? He's a little 5'0" dude who just shedded a tackle. Or shed a tackle that he shouldn't have shed. And that is a touchdown Clemson. I'm going to freaking off myself, dude. I can't handle this. I can't handle this game sometimes, man. Between this game and the Florida game, dude, it's just, it's a lot. It is a lot. But it's not over yet. It's not over till it's ogre. Mazio Bennett. Good return. I'll take that to the 27. I feel like I got further than that, but whatever. Balance, true. I don't know why I switched that in the first place. Not having DJ Braswell really changes how I play. And you can tell the offense just doesn't feel as good, does it? Because we don't move the football as well. Because I don't pass the ball very. It's just not what I do. It's not my strong suit. It may have been at one time back in the day. I may have been pro pass, but at this point in my life, I am not pro pass in video games. I am pro run the ball. And I will run the ball until the running back that I have physically dies. And that is what happened with DJ Braswell. He has physically just vaporized, and we don't have him on the team anymore. Until next week in the SEC Championship when he comes out for the first couple of plays and then inevitably goes right back to the locker room. So That's the kind of position we're in right now with our running backs position. It sucks, but I put us here. It's not like I didn't put us here. I ran the ball so much that it caused this situation. I get it. I get why we're in the spot. I just don't like the spot that we're in. Luckily, we have some okay running backs behind Braswell. It's just we're trying to win the Heisman. Trying to win the Heisman with a running back with the wear and tear that we have is almost impossible. David Thrash also picked up an injury. So did Mazeo Bennett, both on the same play. And I ran into the dude there, man. I was trying to get outside. I was trying to get him blocked and then go right next to him, but that was just all kinds of bad. I should have known that wasn't going to work. That's Malik Clark. We could take the points, but that's stupid. Why would we take the points when we're down? And why is this on my screen right now? Why is David Thrash's injury thing on my screen right now? What's happening? Get that off the screen. I can't see. What is happening right now? Why is the David Thrash injury thing on my screen right now? Get that off. I pressed the square. I pressed everything. It didn't really work, did it? It's still on the screen. I'm pressing triangle and square. Get it off of my effing screen, EA Sports. God, thank you. I mean, you can't even make a somewhat good game. They can't even make a functional game. It's almost like they've just got... It's almost like not even humans work on this game. It feels like they have just a bunch of animals back there in their workspace, and the animals are working on it. And then the whatever the animal product that they put out is the game that we get. That's what it feels like. Because there's almost too many bugs and too many things that happen that shouldn't happen that it feels like a human should not be able to make this. Like, it's almost like you tried to be bad. Like, you almost tried to make a bad game. Mazeo scores, touchdown Gamecocks, we take the lead. Well, we tie it, and now we take the lead. I don't know, man. Sometimes I shouldn't be at this point because I know how it works, but sometimes I'm shocked at how bad these games are. Like, they're not supposed to be this bad. It's almost impossible to make a game this bad. You have to try. Even accidentally, you could stumble into some things that are good. But just the fact that it's just so consistently bad makes me think that they try to do it. You try to make a game this bad, because otherwise you could accidentally have some good features. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. And another reason why I will probably never be an EA creator, whatever, EA content creator, whatever they call it, their BS program that they have at the beginning of every cycle. Because those games, or those people, they get paid to promote the game in a positive way. And that's not what I do. I get paid to promote the game in a negative way. And I don't want to be a hater. It may come off as I want to hate EA Sports because that's how I've portrayed myself, but I don't want to hate these games. I love the old Madden games. Those are my favorite games. Some of my favorite games. I loved those games. But over this past probably decade, honestly, maybe 6 or 7 years, maybe 8 years, something like that, since the game has taken this downturn and it's just been slop. It's really just made me bitter. It's made me so bitter towards the company, towards whatever product they put out. And yeah, I still buy it. So that's probably a negative on me. I understand. I get it. I still buy it every year. But I buy it because I want to play a football game, and this is the only football game with modern rosters and modern graphics that I can play. So this is the path that I've chosen. And I understand that it's not going to get better if I continue to buy it, but I want to play a football game. It's not my fault that the game sucks. I'm not the one making it. I just want to buy it and play it. But this is the spot that we are in. How did I not block that? This is the spot that we are in with EA Sports. And it's not going to get better. They're not going to fix anything. I've become, oh, Mazio, huge kick return touchdown. I've become jaded and bitter because of this game. And I'm not talking about college football. I'm talking about Madden, really, since that has more, since I have more history in that game. But just go through the history of this channel, and you can see consistently every single Madden cycle is just constant rage. And I don't like feeling rage. I want to be all happy and joyful and be like, oh, I'm having so much fun playing the game. But I'm not. I'm not having fun playing the game because it sucks. And there's a reason that I don't play these games outside of recording videos. I don't. Not anymore, at least. I used to. I used to play these games all the time. But that's not what I do anymore. Now I play other games. If I have time to play games. But anyway, enough of my sob story. Enough of complaining about the game. Let's get back to it because it's third down. Incomplete pass. Huge deflection. We needed that. Cortez Boykins blows that play up. And for some reason, they're going to punt 4th and 3 down by a single point. That seems like a really bad idea. Mazio, you've already got a kick return touchdown. Do you have a punt return touchdown in you? Oh my God, I thought he did. I thought he did. That seems like a really, really poor decision to punt that ball. It was 4th and 3 from your own 32, which I get from your own 32 is a little tough. But you're down by a single point in the 4th quarter. I don't know. I feel like that's a go for it situation. Get out of my way, please. Iheanacho gets some of those yards back, and now Clemson will start calling timeouts. Clemson will start calling the Timmies. And I think we got to go double cross here. We need a big first down. That way we can use the rest of their timeouts. That's Iheanacho. That's a first down. I probably should have went Fleming there just to secure it a little bit more, but Iheanacho gets it done. That's a big first down. That should be able to get them to use all their timeouts now. And then once we use all their timeouts, we can win the game. Because Iheanacho goes down to the 24. Third timeout used. No more remaining for the Clemson Tigers. They are at the will of whatever I want to do. And all they have left is the 2-minute warning. And I'm not going to go in here. I'm just going to go down. I didn't want a Superman dive there. I just wanted to slide. But Iheanacho seals this game most likely with that big run. Because we're going to let this go to the 2-minute. Then we're going to call a couple extra plays. I could kneel it down, but I want to score here to secure the rivalry. But I also don't want to score too quickly because then Clemson will get a chance to go back. So we're just going to have to try our best to not give them any time. But also score. And that's, jeez. The guard just flew right into my legs there. That was kind of insane. Under 50 seconds remain in this game. Iheanacho will get called down. So we are now forced to kick a field goal, and Clemson will get the ball back. So this is a little dangerous. I probably shouldn't have done this, should I? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the penalty here. Because that should allow for it to get down to, what, 2 seconds? And then hopefully the ball goes through the uprights between the 2 seconds. And then we don't risk a possible Clemson kick return touchdown or something. So I'm going to take the penalty here. That'll back me up. Actually, I don't have to take the penalty. I could just call the timeout, I guess. So 3 seconds is what we have. And they want me to run one more play. That does risk a fumble. I know it probably is unlikely, but it does risk a fumble. I just need to hope that this ball takes 3 seconds to get across the thing. And it's 1 second remaining. 1 second remaining. I got to boot this thing. so we don't have a kick return touchdown. All right, they're going to kneel it. Clemson will have 1 second. I probably screwed up the way that this goes. Clemson will have 1 second. We need to send everybody as far back as we can. Give cushion, play over the top. Vizina will just go down to the flat and tackle him. It's game over. Okay, we win 24-20. So we win 3 straight Palmetto series. We hold up the trophy. You love to see it. But that was a rough game. Both these games in this episode were pretty rough. That Florida game was rough. This one was a little rough. Oh, there now DJ comes out. He celebrates with the team. You did nothing, DJ. Absolutely nothing. Zippo. But you want to come out and celebrate. I see how it is. I see how it is. Whatever. Whatever you want, dog. Whatever you want. But we win the game. We add another trophy to the trophy cabinet. DJ Braswell's not winning the Heisman this year, unfortunately. It does suck, but we killed him too much during the season. There's another handshake. It's Garrison Fayad. He was committed to Clemson, or he was thinking about going to Clemson. Ekwonu chose Ohio State. I'm not super upset about that. I kind of was resigned to the fact that we weren't going to get him. But also, notably, as we take on Georgia in the SEC Championship, notably, Greg McElroy didn't choose anybody either. So we get Garrison Fayad. He's on the team now. McElroy is not committed to the program. We are still trying to get in the running for some of these guys. I can go a full 50 on Jalen Flint. A 6'7" left tackle is kind of insane. Jamison Awe, I can go fully on him too, because we have the hours to do that. So he's not super good, but he could be a tight end. 6'5", 206 is definitely a tight end build. Stanford has no scholarship offer on Zach Crothers, so I like the position that we're in right now for him. Lloyd Stockton, we're doing well. Desmond Williams, I almost don't want to go after him anymore, but I'll keep going after him just because. And then Tyler Macklin, we can switch. And since I don't have to use the points, but since I should use these points, we might as well just keep putting 50 on everybody that we can. Let's go with Jimmy Carnegie. Jimmy Carnegie also is a very good option at tight end. We'll have to see how the team looks. We'll see what the team looks like. I should probably just take these guys off the board, but I mean, there's a chance still. There's still a chance. Until there's not, there's still a chance. There's a couple running backs left. Chuck Popo, I think I looked at you, didn't I? I don't remember. We should probably look at guard, because guard is something that we're a little bit thin at. So let's put Javonte Meadows on the board. And Javonte Meadows is going to get a scholarship. He's going to get 25. He's going to get 10. And he's going to get 5. He's going to get a full 40. And then Marvin Kirksey is going to get that scholarship. So there we go. We got 2 guards on the board. We'll see if we can get in on them. Who knows? Probably not. But let's advance to the SEC Championship. We'll also take a look at the stats, final regular season stats, before we end this video. Velez chose Georgia. So did Corbin Eberle. So we lose 2 possible commitments to Georgia as we get ready to play them in the SEC Championship next episode. Velez and Eberle, man. Whatever. If you want to go play for the losers, then you can go do that. That's really what you want to do. But Marvin Kirksey, we're going to go with a 50 piece. And then we're going to switch this to a full 50. Although we could switch to a hard sell. That's probably what we should probably do. So let's... Oh, we can't. Never mind. He's not able to. It's still locked. So we'll just switch to a hard sell. And you know what? I think I'm going to keep those 50 hours and we will just let them be. Let them be. Let them be. Let's take a look at the stats and the Heisman voting. Did Braswell, how far did he fall? He fell to 3rd because he didn't have any stats. And because he had the bye week, so that didn't really help. Yep, DJ's not going to win the Heisman. It sucks, but we killed him too much. There wasn't anything I could do about it. Nothing I could do about it. So, final stats on the season. Bryce Underwood completes pretty good amount of passes, 74% completion percentage, 2400 yards, 30 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. That's a pretty good touchdown to interception ratio for me. I feel okay about that. That's pretty good. Rushing, Braswell has 1,600 yards, so he ends up not breaking the record during the regular season, and I doubt he's going to break it during the playoffs, because if you look at, I'll move my camera quickly. If you look at his season and career health, he has no season health left. He's completely dead. So that's a little tough. Is there any way I can help him? He's got 12 skill points. No, I can't. I can't do anything about it with the skill points. I guess I can give him some abilities here, since he's got some skill points. Breaks tackles at max speed. That might be useful. All right, so he's got silver sidestep and silver downhill now, which is cool, but he's not going to use them because he's not going to be on the field. Underwood was good on the ground, too. He was very clutch at sometimes. David Thrash was always good, and Iheanacho was fine because they didn't get a lot of touches. Receiving, nobody over 600 yards, but that's just not our offense. Malachi Coleman had some huge touchdowns towards the end of the year. He was definitely a very good replacement for Nick Harbor. As we wait for guys like Jalen Rasmussen and where's the other guy at? Here he is. Devontae Weeks. As we wait for these guys to ascend to the top, Malachi Coleman was a very good fill-in for the next big star at wide receiver. Mazio was good. Malik Clark was really good. Fleming was fantastic. Good numbers from everybody. Defensively, obviously Jair Johnson's going to be a stud because that's what he does. Unfortunately, he's going to graduate this year. I hope he goes to the NFL. That'd be pretty awesome. Jordan Robinson was second in the team in tackles, which is nice for his future, along with Cortez Boykins, another one of those freshman safeties, along with Sidney Clemens were the two freshman safeties. And Cortez Boykins was the one who deflected that pass at the end of the game in the Clemson game. Tackle for loss leader is Jair Johnson with 16. Kiernan and Joshua Wood both had 15. Robinson had 14. Brown had 13. Sack leader is Joshua Wood. The defensive tackle leading the team in sacks is not usually what happens on my teams, but I'll take it. Joshua Wood's a beast. 9 sacks for him. Brown had 5.5. Kiernan had 4.5. Umeozulu had 3. Jameson Willett had 2. Interception leader, only 3 interceptions all season. We just don't get a lot of interceptions. We either drop them or we get mossed on. There's only 2 options. And then kicking wise, we kicked 4 field goals this year, including a 40-yarder, 62 extra points, nothing was missed. And then punting, we punted 3 times this year. I don't like punting. Kick returns, we had 1 kick return each for Alan Wilbur and Mazio Bennett. Both had a touchdown. And then punt return, Mazio had a punt return touchdown. Mazio was so good in the special teams, man. Crazy good. But that is going to be the episode. Next episode, we will have the SEC Championship against Georgia. And we should probably figure out if we're going to fire anybody. Are we going to fire anybody? We have Timmy Chang and we have a Clayton White. I like both of them. I don't think we're going to move on from anybody. Timmy Chang's got Architect. And then Clayton White also has Architect. So they're both fairly good, but maybe Clayton White we move on from because I don't really like... I don't know. The pipelines aren't that great. North Carolina and Hawaii are not great pipelines. Should we fire Clayton White? That's going to mess up our... It's going to mess up our coach stability and all that kind of stuff. I think we'll just keep everybody. We'll just keep everybody the same so we don't mess up anything like that. But that's going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.